Hey race fans, NASCAR Know-It-All here. What a day, what a race, what a great birthday weekend for me. And congrats to Martin Truex Jr. He's shown everybody, I'm going to win this championship. Watch out. I'm going to kick all your butts. And he did that today by dominating the Citizen Soldier 400, where I was today at Dover International Speedway. Truex had one of the best cars, other than the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, which I'll get to that in a minute. But before we get to the race, I won free tickets and free experience passes to Inside the Track for Mobile One tents, and I got to meet Tony Stewart while I was there. So I was eating food, and they had the Xfinity race in the background because they didn't get in yesterday due to weather, but it was still cool to hear it in the background. That was pretty nifty. I got to cross the bridge, passed a few drivers on the way there, like Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, the King Richard Petty. I mean, he's always in the garage. What else would you expect? Got to the tent there with my uncle. We enjoyed food and had a good time. Did a racing simulator. Then Tony came, and I actually asked him a question. And the first thing he said to me was, "Are you really wearing a Chase Elliott sweatshirt to this event? I mean, really? Is the first thing you do when you get your ass out of bed is put on a shirt that says Chase Elliott and nothing that says Mobile One or Tony Stewart? I mean, is that really the first thing you do when you get up? I mean, that's pretty ridiculous." But he said Chase Elliott and our friends, and I told him that before my question that I was going to miss him after this season. He said thank you, and I asked a question about how's the chemistry between you and your new crew chief been, and he's been like, it's been good, and it was very cool to finally get to speak to Tony Stewart. It was a moment. And as far as the race goes, Truex wins over Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and we're moving on to the next round, Brad Keselowski, and Matt Kenseth. Also, Jeff Gordon was in the race today, substituting for Earnhardt Jr., who was at the track in the 88 pit box today. Jeff finished 10th after leading some laps, so it's pretty cool to see him racing there. It's always fun to see Jeff in a car. So the 12 drivers that are moving on to the next round are Martin Truex Jr. on his 2 wins. Kevin Harvick, he won. I'll explain about his day in a second. Matt Kenseth, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, and Austin Dillon. And that means the 4 left out is unfortunately one of them, Tony Stewart. Maybe if he hadn't roasted me, he wouldn't have had that finish and be the outside looking in. Both the Ganassi cars of Kyle Larson and Jamie McMurray and Chris Buescher. I expected Buescher to be out anyways. So, interesting things about the race. It was a clean race. There was only 4 cautions. One of them was a tire rub from Kevin Harvick's, which turned out to be a broken axle. He had to go behind the wall, but luckily he was already through with a win, and he came back out there and drove like decent speed. Ryan Blaney hit the wall after cutting a tire, and that ended his day basically. Kyle Larson, one of the Chase contenders, hit the wall after he cut a tire, and that pretty much ended his chance at the championship. And then the other caution came out. The last caution day was when Jamie McMurray's car, the Credit One Chevrolet, the last few laps it sounded sour and off the pace. I'm like, is the one car really off the pace? And I'm like, wow, huge implication for the chase. And I heard from Alex Hayden from MRN Radio that he was down on a cylinder, and he got back on the track after a caution, and that thing just let go and hand grenaded, and that was the last caution of the day. From lap 188 to lap 400, it was all green flag racing. So it was a clean race, and it was all in all a very good day, and I'm so proud of this guy. He did a great job. We were in the top 10 mostly the entire race, and just proud of moving on to the next round, and hopefully we can win Charlotte and Kansas and not have to endure Talladega. Nobody wants to do that. So hopefully everybody enjoyed today's race. Congrats to Martin Truex Jr. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Put a good like on this video if you enjoyed it. For anybody's driver that made the next round of the chase, congratulations. And hopefully you do well in this next round. And now let's get ready for Charlotte. Good night.